Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Alan Fans, another show where we get to talk about football. And tonight, I want to say a special welcome to everyone that is coming in. I see fans rolling in already. We got Curtis the Goat saying good night first. And we just want to thank everybody who has been supporting Alan Fans. Tonight, we have a special episode. Tonight, we're going to talk about player performances that could or could not happen in the new EPL season. It's vastly approaching, quickly approaching. And we're going to get there in just a few weeks. Until then, we'll have a few previews as we talk about different things leading up to that big day when the first game of the season starts. Amija's in the building. He says good night. Good night to you
That's
as well.
amazing.
Don't forget, folks, to like, share, subscribe, send out this link to everyone else who will watch it live or will watch it after the fact. Island Fans is still going. And don't forget, we'll have plenty more things in store for you for the new season. We'll be trying out some new things, some new shows, and you'll see a lot of that in our next episode. We'll talk about that. And before we get into anything, let's just say good evening to Shaq. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just
I heard.
excited to see how Arsenal get his transfers over the line. We play in 2 weeks, so we need to get these signings all over the line, and so that we can get them embedded in the squad and we can get ready for Brentford.
Yeah, that is true. That is true, definitely. And there's a new Arsenal fan in your family as well recently, isn't there?
Yes, sir.
There really is.
All
Alrighty
right.
then. So Arsenal fans, you have somebody else in your coup. That's going in your
Yeah,
arsenal, if you want to
and
put
it's
it.
a lady gunner.
A lady gunner in our heads. So if you want more these than that, just find them from Shaq. All right. Also, FPL is back in the building, and here is our FPL code for Island fans. So I'm going to remind you throughout the show and begin to set up your team. And this is our code. And we did the Euro League, and it was fun. I was champion. And the last time I played FPL, I was champion again too. So I'm probably going to be champion this time around. All right. But if anybody would like to beat me, here is your opportunity to try and beat me in Fantasy Premier League. All right.
I
And
suppose you're on a high coming out from that
I
one.
am I am on a high, dear brother. I am on a high. So if anyone thinks that they could possibly beat me, go over to the Fantasy Premier League website, set up your team, and
Put in the
lose to
code.
me at the end of the season. That'd be great. All right. So Amija here is saying Aaron Ramsdale's at Arsenal. Okay. All right. And he's
I
like,
hope
let
not,
me
man.
join the league. Let me join the league. Okay. So in essence, then, um, it's important for us to think about some of the players. There are lots of transfers still happening, and of course, Alan Fans is of course going to do a transfer show on deadline day. Going to set that up, get everything sorted. But until then, players are coming in. There are players already on teams that may have left or not have left yet. But we decided tonight that we're going to look at the new season and think who is going to do well, who's going to flop. You know, and so you can give your opinions throughout the entire episode on what we say, and even on just
Yeah,
what
so
you think
your opinion too, yeah.
on your opinions as well too. So you can let us feel that vibe and let us know what you think. All right. So Shaq, you want to go first, or you want me to get started?
I mean, you can go. You go. I mean,
Okay. All
you're
right.
a former FPL champion. You can start it off.
Okay. All right. Well, as you guys know, I've been hiding over the fact that I didn't sign Jaden Sancho last year. I thought we needed him last year. All right. And I got him this year, and I am so happy. I think he's going to dominate this season, especially on the right hand side. But he can play to the left, he can play to the middle. And so he being an official player for United, I'm looking at his stats. I'm looking at his stats, Shaq. I'm looking at his stats. And he had some injuries last season. But he still managed to get some pretty good stats. And when you actually check it out for Dortmund specifically, he had 8 goals, 11 assists through 26 matches. And the previous season, he had 17 goals, 16 assists in 32 games. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm like, previous season he had 12 goals and 14 assists. So
Right.
he is like 14, 16, 11, and only because he got injured last season why he didn't have more goals and probably more assists. Now, to be consistent, I do think that the German league is less of a league than the Premier League. That's my opinion. And everybody think different,
You
but
need to
I think
be
it's less
right.
of a league. I'm trying to be consistent here. So considering that's the case, right? I see Akali, come on, boy, I'll just drop them through already. You see, I do think so. And that's not the Farmers League. The Farmers League is the French League. The Farmers League is the French League. For clarification, for everyone who will hear this, but the German League is less than the Premier League, but it's still a good league, right? It's still a good league. And so I don't think he's going to get the 16 assists and 17 goals he got last season. But I do think he can get me 10 goals and 15 assists. I really think so. I think so. I think
With
so.
stats like that, you're looking to win the league. If he's
Oh
10
yeah,
goals and 15 assists, I mean, if he's getting 15 assists, that means somebody's scoring these 15 goals. Somebody else
yep.
scoring these 15 goals. So there's the
Edison
goals.
Cavani.
That's at least 25 goals. You're just talking about the league, right?
Just the league.
That's the league, right?
Just the
That's
league.
25 goals,
Yeah.
yeah, at least.
I think he can get double digit assists. I'm leaning on the goals. I could say somewhere between 7 to 10. 7 to 10 goals, but
Right.
he's going to get double digit assists for sure. The least is 11. The least is 11, but I really think he can get 15. I think that the reason simply because of the fact that we always had a left dominated side offense. And so now, with that being the case, he's going to be freed up on the right hand side to just either create or to score. And I think Jaden's going to dominate it. If you disagree with me, trade in the chat.
I mean,
Let me know.
you can answer me just question, and I have another one for you.
Do you think Sancho is the next Alexis Sanchez? No. No. It's different circumstances altogether. I've met some Arsenal fans that have admitted to me, not Shaq, but I think Shaq did too, probably. Maybe you can correct me, brother. But that, yes, Alexis Sanchez was a big name coming from Arsenal, but at the same time, some would say that he had a slight dip in form, coming off of that last season there. And to my personal opinion, I think that he never was going to fit that system. And Oli, the kind of system Oli wants to play with the wingers and the width and the cutting in and the crossing, it's suited perfectly for Sancho, and he knows a lot of the players already on the team, and he wants to play for United. He literally wants to. It's not just a money move. There's a passion for it. So no. So I don't think so.
I guess that's a perfect segue. So, like, to my question, how do you think the miss in the Euro finals is going to affect him coming into the season? Or you think that by these couple games in preseason he would have shaken that off already?
Yeah, good question. I think it's motivation. Him and Rashford and Saka. I think it's motivation.
Right.
They're young. They're going into the season, and everybody, of course, is talking about it. They're not idiots. They watch social media. They see the things that have been said negatively about them, about them being too young and not ready and all that kind of stuff. And of course, the other stuff too, the racism, which we are totally against here in Ireland fans. That I think that's motivation going into the season, saying, look, I know my abilities, and I'm going to show you, I'm show the world that I am a baller. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do.
Right.
He's just going to hit the ground running like Bruno, and as he's banging in goals, assists left, right, and center. I know I'm hyping him up too much, I know, but I just think this boy is amazing.
my first pick for who I'm looking at really this season from Arsenal, that would be playing the same position as Sancho. That would be Nicolas Pepe, coming off of a full preseason. He's finally played with the same manager he did last season. Finally playing with the same manager again. full preseason. He looks good in these preseason matches. I'm looking, and he had a very good conversion rate last year.
Mhm.
So I'm looking for Pepe to be in double digits goals and assists. Goals and assists. True. I mean, I think personally, if not, I think he will get at least 10 goals, 10 to 12 goals, and about 8 assists. Let me just hold it
10
and
to
get 8
12
assists.
goals and
Right, and
8
8 assists.
assists.
8 assists.
Okay.
Because why
Okay.
why why I took it down a notch on the assist? Because we're so fluid. I think that he'll be on the end of those balls over the top, using his pace to get in behind. And because we are so fluid, we want to have we're gonna share the goals around a bit more. So that's why I just
Mm.
calm myself a bit.
Mhm.
I think Pepe, just like I see me just saying, I think Pepe is gonna shine. Actually, is gonna shine this year. I really
So, so
think that I
tell,
think he's going to
question,
shine
question. So for Pepe, then, which side is he playing? The right side or left side?
the right side.
He's playing the right side. Okay. So when I was looking at United, I was thinking if we keep Pogba or if we die. One thing I realized a problem was last season too, is that whenever whenever like Pogba looking up for somebody, he look up and he see Rashford on the left wing, and he look up on the right side and he don't see Greenwood because Greenwood done gone central, or he see
Right.
Dan James and Dan James done so with the ball. This time now he have a second outlet that's equal to Rashford to give us that balance. Okay,
Right.
who's playing on the other side for you on the left hand side?
I mean, last at the end of last season, sometimes Pepe was on the left and Saka was on the right. Now Saka
Mm-hmm.
could be on that left side. Or what I've been noticing Art has been doing in preseason, he's been playing with two strikers going forward. But
Mm-hmm.
then either Nketiah or maybe it's Aubameyang, they would go and play left wing in defense. Track
Oh,
all the way back. So if
okay.
he uses that, but most likely Saka is probably coming back late. He probably won't play that first game. So it'd be Pepe and I would say maybe Aubameyang on that side.
So what? So explain to me why is it then that what has he done last season that justifies his starting this season?
I mean, his numbers and his for me is more of his conversion rate, his
Okay.
goals to minutes played.
Mm-hmm.
Even last season, the start of last season, he got more consistency of play, got more consistent playing time towards the end of the season. But in the early towards the middle of the season, he was in and out the team. He was in and out the team. But when he started playing, and when he started having a good run of games, we saw quality in possession, quality without the ball, and quality when he gets the chances in front of goal. And that's what I think will push him this season
Mm-hmm.
to great heights.
Yeah, yeah. I've been a little secret fan of Pepe. Honestly, I think the criticism he's received has been unfair. Because I mean, he just never really had anybody that decided, you know what, you're gonna start game in and game out,
Right.
and
This
then
is
do
third
your
manager
thing.
though.
You know what I mean?
This is third manager, and I mean
Yeah.
Unai Emery's come out and said publicly that he wanted what's his name, Zaha, and they
Zaha.
gave him Pepe. Then he had Lundberg
Mm,
for a stint, and then he has Arteta.
mm,
Let's
yeah,
see.
yeah. Let's see indeed. Let's see indeed. All right, let's move over then to our flops that for our possible flops from our own teams. Everybody knows that Shaq backs Arsenal, I back United. So if you back Chelsea or you back City or any other team, you can tell us who you think is going to do well next season or who you think is going to flop next season as well. Okay. Even if you watch this later on, you can still throw it in the comments. You can still like this. You can still share it, or just let us know. And of course, we will give you a shout out as well. Okay.
Josh, let me just shout out to Carly. If
Uh
he's thinking about commenting, he can just put Tottenham because we know he's a Tottenham fan. You're not really thinking
huh.
about what player, but just put Tottenham
Okay,
because they're
just
flop
put that
in another sense.
down. Yeah, like so, like the flop is like the whole team. Okay,
Yeah,
I
they're
got
just
you.
flop. The team itself, the organization, flop.
Curtis the Goat says, Man U for life. Oh, yes, of course. Man U for life. Okay. I was, looking forward to the fact that Memphis is not here tonight. I'm sure he's going to watch this later. And if he does, then I hope he just if I get a like any negative reaction from him, even if I don't see it in the future, I will be happy. If this happens. Okay, my flop coming into the season, no surprise, Anthony Martial. Not Anthony Elanga, according to United fans who think he's doing really well right now, my kid. He's the new Anthony, the better Anthony, but Anthony Martial going into the next season. Last season, he played 17 games. He scored 4 goals. Came on as a sub as 5. Yes, he had some injury issues throughout the season. Yes. But I'm not giving that as an excuse. Why I think he's going to flop has nothing to do with last season. Nothing to do with last season. From the perspective of his injury, people get injured. But the reason why I think he's going to flop next season is because I forgot. The reason why I think he's going to flop next season is because Edison Cavani is going to be the starter, number 9, and then he's going to rotate him with Greenwood. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen like that. And especially with the possibility of Rashford playing or not playing from the left-hand side, Martial may play from the left or the right, or he may come off the bench for Cavani. All right? Or they're going to move Greenwood to strike and then bring out Martial to go play wing. That's what's going to happen. See, he's never going to get a proper run in the side as a starter unless we're resting Cavani or Greenwood. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to happen because Oli does not rate him as a number 9. Oli played number 9. Oli likes those strikers that are in the box, quick movements, heading the ball, finishing those scruffy chances. That's not Martial. Martial don't want that. He wants to get the ball at the edge of the box. He wants to curl them from 30. He wants to drill past 6 people. That's how he plays. Oli doesn't play like that. Oli doesn't like those strikers. He wants those bully strikers that will score 20 goals from 3 yards. That's the kind of striker he want. And it's just not Martial. But in this market, selling him not gonna make no money. Buying somebody new is gonna be too expensive, so you have to play him. And that's gonna be the case. He's gonna end up this season with 7 goals in all competitions.
That's a lot of goals. That's a lot of goals.
Three or 4 in the Prem, maybe 2 or 3 others in other leagues. And maybe 3 assists. That's it. He's not gonna get double digit anything next. That's my point. He's not gonna get double digit of anything next season. He's gonna completely flop, and then we're gonna sell him in the summer, hopefully January, but in the summer, all right, and use some of that money and just buy Haaland. Story done. Even if it's like 20 million.
I hear you.
An extra 50.
I hear you.
We had money done there now, but actually Martial's selling will be. I got youth products right now better than him, right? And all United fans who don't know, Anthony Elanga, go check him out. That is the name. He's the new Anthony, right? He's better than the other Anthony, and we don't need this current Anthony. Anthony Elanga is the guy. Anthony Martial is out. We've already replaced you with a better Anthony. So bye-bye. Gets to be gone. And I continue to say Frenchman out. Except for Varane. You can stay. All right. There we go. Moving on.
Pogba to PSG?
If he wants to go, yeah. If he wants to go. Tell you, this is my opinion on Pogba. Do I want him to stay, Shaq? Yes. I want him to stay. I really do. I think we should try to help him stay. But if he comes and says, I'm not signing, we should sell him, get some money, and go buy a replacement. Run out your contract till next year and go for free. I don't agree with that.
Who said to buy this now? I didn't hear that. I'm buying who?
I didn't say who. I didn't say who.
Oh.
I didn't say who. Oh. But selling again sounds good. That sounds nice. All right. Shaq, who are you?
You went for an attacker. I'm going for Bellerin. It's a strange one because he's rumored to be out, and this is exactly the reason why I'm choosing him, because I just don't think Bellerin after the injury has been the same. He wasn't that great on ball defender, and now that he has lost a yard of pace or so, his recovery after he has gotten beaten
Mm.
is left wanting. So I think, and when going forward, his crossing is poor. When you look at the quality of crossing we've gotten from Chambers, who is more of a centre back, who's more of a CDM, and he's putting in these quality crosses. Compare that to a natural right back in Bellerin, and you can see where Bellerin is found wanting. When I look at it, I'm looking at Bellerin this year. I'm looking at Bellerin this year to be Arsenal flop. I'm hoping that he's not the Arsenal flop, so that
Mhm.
he can go Inter, he can go into Inter. We get some cash for him, and we see how he goes. But Bellerin has, if I'm being honest, and it's hard for me to say anything bad about anybody that plays that weighs the share. It would be
Uh,
Bellerin. I'm thinking about the squad because you look at Leno. I think Leno is a world class goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper. Gabriel is injured, but we're gonna have Ben White coming in. Shout out to Munchie. Shout out to
mm,
Munchie. Ben White
mm,
coming in. Even Jamal too. Shout out to Jamal too. Ben White coming
mm,
in. You're gonna have. I mean, iffy, holding iffy. But then
mm.
Tierney, I think. Anyway, I think we were supposed to do two players who are going to do well, right?
No, no, we didn't. But hey, sure, you can do it if you
But
want,
okay, so
man.
let me just throw in this one because I think Thomas Party is going
uh,
to have a ball of a season too. I think he is
mm,
going to get. I think from that deep position, he is going to get me 10 assists.
I'm gonna get you
10
10
assists.
assists.
10 assists, and he's
Okay,
going to score. He's going to score at least 3 goals. 3 goals.
okay,
Three
okay.
goals, but he's going okay. But then for me, we know we had to do. I had to put out some numbers because that's what we're doing. But for me, Partey's performance is more than the numbers.
Mm,
Even if he doesn't get these assists, he's going to be the person who presses up, wins the ball early, makes a pass into Pepe, or makes a pass into Laka, and Laka flicks it on for somebody else to finish. He's going to be that integral part player in our system to create those chances for us. So for me, when I look at the Arsenal team coming into the season, I'm looking at Pepe and I'm looking at what's his name. I'm looking at what I just said, Party, and of course Tierney goes without saying.
okay, all right. Since you threw out one there that talked about another person that you think would do well this season, um, I'm gonna go there, and again, I'm gonna do another one for all the haters. I'm just doing one for all the haters tonight, man, because
Are you going to
y'all,
say Fred?
uh,
Are you going to
no,
say Fred?
I am now going to say right. No, no, this is somebody who, no, I really think, okay, I'm going to say, um, it's tough, but I do want to say, ask you a question about the one you said about the right back. What's his name?
Bellerin.
Thing. Bellerin. Who plays right back if he doesn't play?
We have Cedric. Well, okay.
Uh,
The end of the season, Chambers was holding out Bellerin and Cedric from that in that right back position. But
yeah.
natural right back, if it's not Bellerin, it's Cedric.
So you think Cedric would be an adequate? He's who he wants
No,
starting.
I think we should go in the market. I think we should go in the market for a right back.
Okay. Okay. All right. Um, my heart wants to say Scott McTominay. Right? I want to say my heart to Scott McTominay.
Mm.
Because of the fact that I keep trying to tell people. Yes, I agree with other United fans, Memphis, that he had to play a double pivot with Fred because he doesn't trust the centre back pairing. That's true. I agree with that. But I don't believe that Scott McTominay can play that defensive midfield role that they say they want him to play in that thing. To play there. There's a rumor out there, and I think the rumor has some, the whole thing about this where there's smoke, there is fire. I think there
Right,
is a
right.
rumor there out there about us playing a 4-3-3 as a team. And if Pogba stays, you have Pogba and Bruno playing in an advanced position. And then you have like a Cavani, a Rashford, and a Sancho, and they have that one CDM. I just
Right.
don't think McTominay can play that CDM. Why? Because McTominay is not a CDM. I keep telling people that he is like I'm not saying he's Cruz, but he's more like a Cruz role, where he plays in that number 8 and he likes to get forward. I really do think so. He doesn't, people forget, if you know him, when he was in the youth squad, he played as a striker. He's a striker he used to
He's
play.
always had an eye for goal too.
Yeah, and he had 7 goals last season. The same
Right.
as Martial, by the way. Anyway, he had 7 goals last season. And he strikes the ball so well. And I just don't think that sticking him behind and saying sit in front of the back 4 is something that he wants to do. I mean,
Right.
people say, oh, he's played centre back and all them business, because he's
Yeah,
the kind of guy that
Scotland,
says,
innit?
yeah, he's the kind of guy that says, look, right, wherever you want me, I'm going to do a job. That's
Man, you
who he
playing for.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not in his system, man. He doesn't.
Right.
He wants to get forward, and he's improved so much. And I think a 4-3-3 system with him playing a more advanced role could help, And he may not get the chance because if Pogba stays, but I think that Oli is going to have a second team where he will, and I think he could do really, really well. But really, I want to say Maguire is going to have an amazing season. That's what I wanted to say. My heart says him, but it's Maguire's want to say is going to have an amazing season because he finally has a partner that can cover all his weaknesses, and he's going to score 5 goals this season from heading. That's what he's just going to do. He's just going to be banging them in. But
I have a question for you. I have a question for you because last season there was a lot of talk whether or not who's the better person for this position in your team, whether you go with Dean Henderson or David De Gea.
Ooh. Well, to be honest with you, I was just watching a video about that today, and they were asking the fans the same question, and majority of the fans are going in favor of Dean Henderson. I'm still undecided. I'm undecided because I believe in my heart of hearts that Oli wants Dean Henderson to be the number 1. I think he wants him to be number 1. I think Oli wants him to be number 1, but my heart leans towards De Gea because he's been such a servant for the club, and I feel like I'm betraying him if I don't call his name. But I literally feel like I'm betraying him. He's an amazing keeper. It is just that I think that, and I think he can still be that player for us. But the problem is that Dean Henderson has so much talent, and he's so arrogant. He really believes in his heart that he's better than De Gea.
He's number 1.
Which
is not a bad quality to have.
Yeah, watching his interviews, he's confident. He's like, I'm better than him, okay? He's my guy. We work together, but I'm the number 1. And that kind of confidence, man, just says a lot, and De Gea has been running short on confidence lately, and that's a big thing for a keeper. So based on that, I'm going to go with Dean Henderson. I know I have an English bias, but I'm going for Dean Henderson all the way.
Let me throw one here because this is gonna be it's kind of switching up, but this is a surprise player, I think, and it's not so much of a surprise because he's been in the squad for a while, but I think Arteta has simplified his game so much that he just does what he's supposed to do, and then when the game's done, he gets off the pitch. I think this season, and no, I'm looking for us to get an upgrade on him. But whenever he is called upon, I just want to highlight Elneny. Because even last season, I know Shaka, everybody have Shaka divides opinion, but whenever he was paired with Partey, we had a really good pivot there. He allowed Partey to do some things, and I don't know what Partey probably simplified his game for him, and he complemented Partey's game. It just worked really well. And yes, he's not a big name. He's probably not going to be the first name on the team sheet. It's not going to be anybody's GOAT. But when you watch a performance, when you sit down and just watch your TV and watching your team, like, he's quietly going about his business and he's quietly doing it very well. And I just want to shout out Elneny. But I'm looking at this young man that we brought in. I watched him play 2 games in preseason, Lokonga, the Belgian youth.
Yeah.
But it's okay. Elneny quietly goes about his business. Think of
Mhm.
El Nene with a forward-thinking mind, and there
I
you
read
have
about
it.
him now. I read about him, and who said it? Somebody made some comment about how he's the next big thing or something or the other, and a lot of people don't
He's
realize.
highly. I think
Who is it?
company spoke well of him. Think just
It's
that
company. It was company.
Thierry
It was
Henry
company.
recommended him to Arsenal.
He was company. He was company. I remember now. It's company who
Right.
was spoke about him highly, and I was like, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. Some people in the comments say Martial is world class. No, he's not. Martial is inconsistent. Though. There you go. All right. Amija says Pogba won't stay if he doesn't get the right amount of money. You are so right. Honestly, I think Pogba wants to stay at United. I think he wants to, but I think he wants to be the highest paid player in the history of United. I think he wants them to break the bank. I think he wants them to come and say, look, blank check, let me write what I want in there, and then I will stay. I really think I think it's a money issue. I think it's nothing to do with PSG. I think it's everything to do with just money. And that's what the man
How old
talk.
is
And he
Pogba?
has kids. 28, 28,
I
29,
mean,
something. Yeah, and he's
I
like
mean, to
that.
be fair, this is his last. This should be his last big contract.
Yeah, you're right. And I
Last
think it's
big
all about
contract.
money. I don't think
And
this is
you
about
want as much
football.
money as possible right now.
And don't forget, when players have kids, it changes their mindset,
Of course.
And he got a kid there, and I'm thinking he's thinking, let me squeeze out everything I can out of them because the he's still getting more money than him. So I guess he's thinking, give me that money, and is whether or not United want to give him the money. They don't. Go ahead, PSG. That's what they're gonna say. All right.
PSG now
Curtis
building
says here,
a big team over there. Yeah, go ahead.
the whole Arsenal team gonna flop.
I see you,
Okay.
Curtis. I see you.
Okay. Okay. All
I see
right.
you.
Greenwood is going to have the season of his life. Mark my words. Okay. All right. I I was gonna pick him, but I figured that'd be an obvious one.
I mean, you look at that.
He
You
could.
look at some young players this season. Definitely, Greenwood. He had a good season before last.
Yeah.
Kind of up and down season last one. So I mean, let's see. He too needs a consistent run. I don't know if Cavani being there, and being the starting number 9 is going to give him this consistent run. Is going to hamper his consistency in the team. And my question, well, I mean, let me ask you this: what's Greenwood's best position? Is it out wide or number 9?
Number 9. I think he's number 9. I think Ali actually said he puts him out wide because he's not physically built yet to handle the bigger defenders in the Premier League, and he's been working a lot on his body to be able to do that and different strategies to be
Right.
to work around that. So you put him out wide, and so you can then his finishing ability is easier coming from out wide. But personally, this is why I don't give Martial any excuses because Greenwood had a great first season in
A
in
breakout
at the
season.
highest level. And the second season, he came into the season injured. As
Mhm.
soon as he was fit, he started banging in the goals. What's your excuse? Okay, all right, leaving it
Let
with
me
that.
let me shout out. Go ahead.
Purpose 28. Okay.
Let me shout out Jamal too, because Nketiah scored a brilliant goal yesterday in preseason. We played with
Wow.
Watford 4-1. Yo, and he felt so proud of himself. He tweeted,
Mhm.
RB, not RB. However, what the PlayStation press? R1 on circle.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Okay.
R1 on circle, because that's
Yeah,
what he
yeah,
did.
yeah,
He
yeah.
got the ball on the left side, cut
Left
in,
side and curled it.
curl it. I was like,
Those are
I see
beautiful.
you
Those
in
are
Ketia.
beautiful.
I see Nketiah, but then with some of the rumors I'm seeing, I think Nketiah could be in a deal to get like Madison.
Ooh, y'all get Madison, boy.
No
I
player
tell
plus
you.
cash. Because I'm looking at, I
So,
think, personally, Balogun, okay, put it this way. Let me put it this way. Nketiah's gotten his chance, right? He did not take the chance. Give Balogun his chance. And let's see. I mean, personally, Nketiah could go on alone because why? I'm
that was
always
my
fearful to
question. That was
let
my
go.
question. Do you put
I'm
him on
fearful
loan?
to I'm fearful to lose him because he's that fox in the box type of striker. Like
Hmm.
the ball always finds him, but he hasn't been consistent in putting them in the box. When he's played for Arsenal,
But
he has a great
has
scoring
he got
record.
his chance though? Has he got his
Oh,
chance
oh
though?
yeah, yeah, he has. I mean, for a good
Okay.
number of games last season, we especially because I think Lacazette has scored. in 2 games running. Third game we played against Sheffield United, Nketiah leading the line. Then he had a couple other games where Nketiah is leading the line over Lacazette, and we, as fans, we asking, why is this happening? I think versus Leicester, versus Southampton, he got a good run of games to lead the line, and like he did score some goals. And I'm not going to knock him too hard. He did score some goals, but then his conversion rate was poor, and it's those tap-ins. We're like, yo, Nketiah scored that, man, score that,
Yeah.
and he's not good at holding up the play. But when you look at Balogun, of course, Balogun hasn't played at the highest level yet. He hasn't gotten the same amount of games that Nketiah has gotten. But the game they watch, Balogun is more of a Lacazette. Come short, the whole of the ball, you can spin in behind too and score goals. He looks more clinical than Eddie Nketiah.
Okay. Before this is running, it's funny now, and I'll be honest with you, I made this decision earlier today when I was thinking about who I'm going to talk about from another team, and the first person that came to my mind was actually Ben White. That was actually the first person that came to my mind. I've heard a lot of people, Munchie, talk about stuff. I've heard even my partner Jamal talk about a lot of stuff. But when I heard about Ben White, was actually when right after we played Brighton, and I've had some really good games with Brighton last season, and then he was a rumor to come to United because United were looking for a centre back, and him being English, they're looking for somebody. And I started to look into him even then, and I started to watch his games, and I think he's a really good defender. I'm sorry. People keep getting this guy, right? I'm sorry. He's really good. I mean, when you actually study how this guy plays, he really gets himself caught out of his defensive line. And he'll scan to assess whether a player is occupying the box in a particular way, and knowing how to use his advantages to actually his strengths to actually break down the play and know how to even use what's best for him. People talk about his weaknesses. In some talk about him being weak in the air and all them other business. But actually, I think he's strong. I think he has enough pace. I think he's really good on the ball, and I think he reads the game very well. And I think he would partner Gabriel, and that everybody talking about the Varane, Maguire partnership, But honestly, I just don't see y'all conceding a lot of goals with that. I mean,
our defense got better. I think we had the 3rd best defensive record in the league last season, and then you had Ben White. Munchie has been saying, he's not, he hasn't been. This is his first real season playing for Brighton, but then he had an excellent season in the Championship. But we know the Championship is not no scrub league in terms of may not be in quality, but in terms of physicality, in terms of toughness. When you play a game Thursday, play a game Sunday, he was one of the standout defender for Leeds. In there, I think Leeds won the league. He's one of the standout defenders. No. Yeah. Brighton took him. Leeds wanted him back. Brighton kept him because he's their player. And Brighton said, we look at his game. When you look at Ben White's game, you say, yo, this man is a baller. He's excellent on the ball. He's excellent in position. And hey, we'll see. I don't see. Of course, I see. Amija asking here if we think he's overpriced. Yes, I think he's overpriced, but that's the English tax. Like you say, it's the English tax.
Overpriced based on what criteria? I heard a lot of arguments about that, but I don't know if I agree with that. I think the market is already skewed as is. Okay,
right.
And because of his age and because of the nature of his contract, it's not like if he had 1 year left or something on the other.
Right.
I think that they have to cover certain things, and so I know a lot of people are comparing it to Varane because I think we got him for like what, 40 something,
Right, but it's the age difference as well.
There's age difference. He's younger than him, and he's
giving him a longer contract too.
Exactly, and I think the circumstances themselves present it differently. And I think, as we've compared to before, it's no different than the John Stone scenario years ago. I don't see
This
how the
is my,
difference is.
this,
It's the
this is
exact
my point.
same
This is my
scenario.
point. Right, you're right.
It is, and this is
And
why I think he's going to be a great defender.
let me put this out there right now, Josh, because I know Munchie's going to come in and he's going to say, watch Ben White. If Ben White makes a mistake. Don't forget the great Pep had John Stones out of the team. He couldn't even get a game for City.
Couldn't
And then
even get a
now,
game.
fast forward to this season, he's
Can't play.
undroppable. He's
Yeah,
undroppable. They say, what did they say? What they were saying? John Diaz. John
yeah.
Diaz. And when after the Euro, John Stones, when they make Ruben Diaz look good. You remember them? You hear them? That's
Yeah,
what they say.
yeah. That's true. That's true. That's
Let's just
true.
see. I
Yeah.
think it's a really good signing, and I like what Arsenal been doing. They've been signing a particular profile of players,
Hmm.
23, around 23, 25. Let's get a
Yeah.
good 5 years out of you, and let's build something that these core can stay together for good 5 years, and let's see what we do.
Okay,
Let's see
okay.
what we do.
I have some for you there, Shaq. I have some for you there. All right, we almost out of time. Just a couple more minutes. What about a three back? Saliba, Gabriel, and Ben White, and then Tierney and wing backs.
I mean, it would. I won't be against it when Saliba comes back next
It could
season.
work. It could
I
cover
wouldn't
some of
be
the
against it
defensive frailties
because
of theirs.
because Saliba is a good on-ball defender too. He's quick,
Mm,
so he could cover that right side. Ben White was his reading of the game, could play right in that middle there, in the middle
yeah.
of the three. And Gabriel, of course, Gabriel is the best defender in the league. So what you Gabriel with this, it could work. And with Tierney, especially on that left side, if he has less defensive work to do, which is what Arteta has been doing. If you watch
Yes.
how Arteta is playing, our left-sided central midfielder always goes to that left back spot. Tierney only
Yeah.
plays left back when we don't have the ball when we're in a low block. But other than that, Tierney is up the left winger. He's more inverted, so Tierney has a whole left side there. He has a whole left side there to exploit, and he's been doing it well. He's been doing it well, so it could work.
and you and you won't have to worry about the defensive issues that you're concerned about with what's his name on the right hand side, the right back.
Bellerin,
Bellerin on the right side, because I mean he's
right,
obviously he has to defend, but then he can now focus primarily just on trying to get forward and probably have a better percentage in terms of his crossing and ability. Or
right.
you can even put
I agree
Cedric
with
there,
you.
and Cedric is better whipping in those
Better
balls,
on the ball.
and then
Mm.
and so he can play that right side, because I mean if you have those three there, then it could really work well in terms of
Yep.
defensive stuff. And Tierney can get forward. It
I
can work
I
perfectly.
I see Akani saying he can't cast it if he can't stay in the team. Saliba situation, everybody saying, oh, Saliba should stay. We don't see Saliba. We see Saliba playing in the French league, dominates it, plays well. Fine. Saliba is still 21. Not saying that 21-year-olds, not saying that 21-year-olds can't play. We have Smith Rowe, we have Saka, all doing well. Martinelli, all doing well.
Mm.
They're young players. Not saying that you can't do, but let's not kill him because these are the same people. Not talking about Kanye, talking about Arsenal fans in general. These are the same people that if Saliba plays now, they're not going to remember, oh, he's young and leave him to make a mistake or two. What is he doing? Get him out of our club. Get him out of a club. Let him on time. Give him some time. And when he comes, let's pray that, he's the finished article now. And he can just slide right in and be dominant.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I guess it's because a lot of people, they don't have a lot of. If you're 21 and you're in front of the goal, you may miss a goal out of 10. You may miss a few chances out of 10 and score 2 or 3, and we forgive you.
Right.
But then if you concede one goal as a centre back, oh boy, they're ready to throw you out.
Yep.
And you just need a little bit more experience behind you,
Ridicule.
and to do so. All right. So from another team, Shaq, who did you have from another team?
Okay, it's gonna be a tough one because he's been doing it for so many seasons now. But he
Mhm.
did drop off last season, and Iniacho was the one who helped them a lot towards the end of the season. I'm
Okay.
looking at Jamie Vardy.
Really?
I
For
think
what exactly?
I just have a subpart. I don't want to say flop, but he's not going to be the
Okay.
Jamie Vardy that we know. He's not going to be the Jamie
Mm.
Vardy that we've all come. I mean, this may come back to bite me, but coming off the last season, I'm looking at Jamie Vardy. Maybe his time is up.
So, so two factors. Could it have anything to do with his age, father time
Right,
catching up with him, or
right.
the new signing that they just got there, who have been
Daka,
we're being told is a pretty good goal
yeah,
scoring machine
Daka.
for his class. Any of those factors could play why you thought that way, or
Both, both,
in any way.
both of those factors. Both of those
Mm-hmm.
factors. Are coming in, and he got a couple injuries last season too. That could have
Yeah.
also been a factor of father time. But
Mm-hmm.
I just think that Jamie Vardy, of course, or maybe I should give credit to the defenders. They figured him
Mm-hmm.
out. They figured him out, and he's probably lost a yard of pace too because of his age. And the defenders, I think the EPL has some really quick defenders too. He's not just hooping it up, and he don't want to leave everybody. They know Jamie Vardy, and of course,
Mm.
Leicester may lose their best creator. Just saying.
That's true, man. You know, I'm a big Maddis fan for a long time, and if he goes to Arsenal with a midfielder party, uh, uh, it just may be it. Look, just idea popped in my head here. It still sticks with the theme. I know we're gonna do a preview next time, but to get everybody's opinion. But just off the top of your head, quickly, who you think is going to actually be the flop team of the season besides Tottenham?
Ooh,
Unless it's
I,
Tottenham.
I don't know how anybody could beat Tottenham though. Aye,
You
aye.
think it's Tottenham? Because even
No, no,
they
no.
just no. But
I
what's
was
his
gonna
name
say
though? Just signed though. What's his name though?
who that.
Son just signed a contract, didn't he?
On the contract, okay, and
Is that a
they,
lack
they
of
look they
ambition?
look they look like they're gonna keep Kane.
Yeah, and they sold what's his name? I saw. I think he's a swap.
Lamella, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't understand that though. Interesting.
I
And I
mean,
saw too.
go ahead.
I saw too that they were saying that all the money they got for Bale, and
Sure.
they bought a ton of players,
Yeah, all
and
them
they've
leaving.
sold
Yeah.
all of them. Lamella was the last one. Isn't that crazy? Wow. Anyway, none of them did well. It's crazy. Anyway,
Let me put it. Everton,
Everton flop.
Everton, Everton probably flop. I can't remember who's the manager. They haven't. Is who it is.
That's a good question.
I did
That's a
Barton
really,
in the
really.
manager, man.
Yeah,
Oh
I'll check
my,
it. I'll look it up right now. See if I can find
the manager, because
Conte.
I mean I don't see them having a lot of
Oh,
players coming.
Benitez. Now
Right,
Benitez.
Benitez,
Yeah.
right. And you look at Benitez, he could either go really well or really bad.
Mm.
Benitez,
True.
he's probably going to line up with a five back, and think that the toffee crowd, because there's going to be fans back in the stadium, they're going to get at him to that, because Everton is not that type to want to. Everton is not Newcastle. Everton is not Newcastle. So Everton's going to want to be on the ball, playing good football, and hey, it could go wrong for Everton. Could go wrong for Everton. Richardson's still there. They still have DCL, but no, yeah, I'll call. I think they finished like 10th last season, so maybe that's not much of a flop. But we know
You know
Everton
what?
to be around a six, between 6 and 8 team.
You know who I think is going to flop too, Shaq? West Ham. I think West Ham are going to flop so
With the
bad.
fairy tale is over, David Moyes.
I think it's
What?
one David Moyes.
Let's go
Right?
back. Let's go back to is y'all keeping Lingard?
That's the thing, okay? Because Lingard have that problem where he, at his age, he should be starting game in and game out. And I agree. I love Jesse, and he should be starting game in and game out. But I think Ollie's pitch to him is this: look, Lingard, I know you want to play every game. But last season, I had to play Bruno every game, and he burned him out to the point where he wasn't effective when I needed him. Let's do a pep and rotate you and Bruno, Let's rotate you all throughout the season because you could be a big asset to us throughout the season. I know you want to play every game, but I can guarantee you 15, 16 games this season started. Solid. Rotate you, Bruno. I think that's the pitch. And he should take it. He
So
should take it.
this is your reasoning. So basically, you sabotaging West Ham.
Yeah, basically. Because the only
Sabotage
thing
man,
that's going to happen, because if just you don't go back there, right, it will be a problem. And especially if we find a way to get Declan Rice, which I don't think is going to happen because they want too much money for him. Only Chelsea can pay that kind of money because they're crazy, you know. But I think they're going to drop off because every team that has got into Europe and also playing the Prem, West Ham don't have big enough a squad. And they
Right.
haven't been doing enough in the market.
Right.
And they're going to want
Right.
to do well in Europe and
Right.
still play all them other cups. And they don't have Jesse, who got them there. Let's be honest.
Right.
He got them
That's
there.
fair. That's fair assessment.
They're
That's
going to
fair
end up
assessment.
they're going to end up fighting for relegation, and then they're going to make the bottom half. They're going to get out. They're not going to get relegated. But they're going to end up like 12, 13,
Well,
something below 10. They just, this whole thing about them now being a top 5 challenger every year, nope.
oh no.
Cut that.
That's
Cut
not
that. Cut that. That's not happening. Okay. Leicester had the same thing happened to Leicester when they were in the Champions League. And I just think that Leicester improving their team, Tottenham have a decent team, Arsenal, Leeds, Everton, you talked about Everton, all them other teams that I think are just going to be better than West Ham. You know,
Do
couple
you
things you
think-
fancy quick. Go ahead, sir. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, go ahead. Do the fans. Because I just
Yeah,
I'll have the fans too.
Ami just said Brentford. I don't know. You can tell us, Ami, whether you think Brentford is going to be good or bad. Maybe he's thinking bad. Oh,
I
good.
mean, they're just
Yeah,
promoted,
it is-
so I'll be harsh on them.
They
if you
played-
think that it'll be
They
bad.
played well against my second string in the 2-2. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if you saw the highlights of that game, man.
Mm.
But you should check them
So,
out.
somebody
because-
score a wicked goal, innit? Is who? Pereira?
First preseason Pereira. They call him preseason Pilo. Because he's
Yeah.
always balling preseason and he done so when the season starts. He's the boy do it every year. Okay? But all 4 goals, it was 2-2, were amazing. Okay?
I'll check
Brentford,
it out.
Ilanga scored up the same Ilanga, the new Anthony, scored a
Anthony.
beautiful volley. I mean, it was amazing. And then Brentford come back and slap one from 30. Murder! It was in the V.
It was
I mean,
in
like,
goal.
what the heck? And then Pereira come in and slap that other one there with the volley. They hit. You know, you always sweet, you knock out the post. You know, it's
Yeah.
like there. And then the equalizer. He was really bad defending from a young left back. But anyway, he got alone. And the guy cut in and left foot and curl one nicely, boy, from the edge of the box. He was really, really nice.
Who was in goal for these goals?
I had Heaton in goal. And the other black man I have in my squad now.
Lee Grant?
Lee Grant, yeah.
Mm.
I haven't got back anybody yet. Which is another problem. We don't have time to talk about that. Most of my first teamers haven't even played preseason.
Right.
It's crazy. They probably only have 1 game to play before Leeds.
And the first
You know,
season
which is why I think Leeds is going to be a loss or a draw.
Mm.
But anyway, that's for next show. All right, but because Jan Lambias' team's always fit. Curtis the Good says Arsenal or Leeds. I guess he's thinking going to be the team that
Flop.
does well. A flop, okay. All right. He says Leeds. Kanye says Boy Shock. I never talk about Arsenal, but I want y'all to finish 16 next season.
What you do with that guy? You think when you talk now?
Wow. Leeds not gonna flop. Arsenal and Leeds I want to finish last. How can 2 teams finish
I'm
last?
saying, I'm for Curtis.
Okay. He says, yes, he did. I do think he'll stay. I hope he stays because he's been playing so well in the preseason too. Jesse just looking like he ready, boy. I tell you. All right, man play 1 bad game in preseason yards, send him alone. I think people are guessing of Ilanga. That is not true. I'm telling you, that boy That boy ready, boy. He's ready. Anyway, but we all entitled to our opinion. Shaq, you gonna
I
say?
was, I was gonna ask, what is, if you think Calvin Phillips will stay at Leeds?
Oh, Everton. Oh, Calvin
Calvin
Phillips.
Phillips, right?
Sorry, I
Yeah,
was stuck in DCL.
yeah.
I think so. I think he will. But I would love if United bid for him. I'd make him sit right there behind everybody. I think he's a
So if you
great
had a
addition.
choice between Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips, who do you choose?
That's a good question, Jack. Wow. That's a really good question. That's a good question. I will pick I pick Declan Rice. I'm a Declan Rice fan. I pick Declan Rice.
That's
But
fair.
it's ever so close. It's ever so close. I just think Declan Rice, he used to play centre backs. He has that centre back mindset, you know. So he's more disciplined than everything. I think McTominay can give me everything that what's his name can give me, but still though, I think he's better at that CDM role. But yeah, yeah. For all the Chelsea fans out there, anybody expecting to do well? We got 4 minutes, Shaq. Anybody expecting to do well from Chelsea or flop?
Who play with, who play with Chelsea again, boy?
Timo Werner, flop or do well this season?
Team will get double figures. Double
Double
figures.
figures to Timo.
Double figures the
Okay.
team. Double
At
figures the team.
City, what do you think? Who at City is
I mean,
going
I was
to?
talking to Moore yesterday, and he's like, I see that look like they're gonna get Grealish though, but it don't
Yeah.
look like they're bringing in a striker. So he's saying move Ferran Torres to strike.
Hmm.
For
Alright,
me,
it could work.
for
It could
me,
work.
I'm not. I'm saying, and I told him this because Skill was saying that he saw the reports that City been linked with Tammy Abraham as well. So I'm saying Tammy at 9 versus Torres at 9. I'd take Tammy at 9.
Stats, 100%.
I would take Tammy at 9.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah.
just me. I mean, Ferran has scored some goals, mostly for Spain, playing through them playing, but he did score some goals for City too. But I always thought the City should have just gone out and gotten a striker.
That's still trying to go for Harry Kane.
That
Or
looks
that dead.
dead. That looks dead.
Dead.
I don't think they're gonna pay 160 unless Tottenham brings that figure down. If Tottenham asks for like 90, I think they get it. I think he goes to City. But these
Yeah.
160 figures being touted around, no way they're paying that. As for
Nah,
Jamal calls him glass ankles.
I agree with you. I don't think they're gonna pay the 160, and not at all. Especially when you see Haaland could go for 175. That gap in the age makes a 160 and Harry Kane seem
Right.
reckless.
And then you have
Seem
Mbappe out
reckless.
there too. Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
What can you
Let's get the
say?
fans in and then we'll close. We got Akani saying should pick up Phillips if he could do just about the same time cost. I agree with you. I agree with you, Akani,
Good
100%.
talk, yes.
I do think he could. You know, I guess it's just because I think that and Kevin Phillips is Caribbean roots, so I should back him. You know, but yeah, I've been a Declan Rice fan for a while now. I think he has a better passing range though than Phillips, but Phillips is more of a workhorse and he could do the job. You know, Calvin any day, Declan's overpriced. He is. I do think that West Ham have a right though to be overdue. They have a right. He's their player. You know,
Yeah.
play Torres at strike and they're set. Okay, okay. All right.
You
Timo
set
for
for what?
Golden Boot.
Josh, I know, yeah, we closing now, but this is what I was telling Moy when Moy said this.
Hmm.
Yes, you want Ferran Torres will get goals because the Man City team will create chances for him. Even though he
He
may
will.
take 2 chances to score, even though he may take 5 chances to score 2 goals, he's gonna get
Yeah,
chances. But I can't say set for what position in the league? That's what I'm looking at.
that's a good
Would
point, Jack.
Ferran Torres at 9 win you the league?
I don't think
That's
so.
what I'm looking at.
Need some more goals in the midfield. So you agree, team of Werner for Golden Boot?
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Makani Simon says same with Liverpool. Put Jota up top.
Just up top instead for me now. Mm.
It could
Mm.
work. He could
Good
do it.
work.
He could do it. He could do
Work.
it. Alrighty then. Well, thanks a lot to all the fans that have given all their opinion tonight. Great stuff from all of you. And you got to hear me and Shaq talk a lot about who we think would do well and wouldn't do well from some of the top teams in the league. There's going to be obviously a lot more previews heading into the season. And don't forget to make your team. You don't even have to make the whole team. You can change it back and forth between now and the 13th of August. Just go sign up for our Fantasy Premier League. And Island Fans, of course, is the name. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to everyone about this channel as we continue to grow more and more. Thanks a lot, Shaq. Have a good evening, and good evening to all of you.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for watching Island Fans. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you'll know when there are new videos and updates. You can also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and like us on Facebook. Island Fans, for the passion of the game.